On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go. 21. Watch twist on Travis.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now Garoppolo. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion. And look at this, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt, it doesn't work out, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
52's the mic. Watch run. Let's go one more. Jump out. Hey, orbit. We gotta get this stop here, D. 52's the mic, boys. 52. I'm coming. Rush. All right.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
We got this.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, About 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Watch the out. Check
11.
On first down, Garoppolo. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cover. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but it'll be second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone, touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the counter, here's Jones. It's a 7-yard pickup.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. So fourth down, the Bucs trot out Bradley Pinion to punt it. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Let's go, touchdown, baby. Let's go.
Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check 52.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is taken at the 3.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this?
Coach handling it, the offensive coordinator. Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm going back to you.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He'll return it from the 6. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, gun.
Now this time, Garoppolo will throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
258. Hey, 626.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 7-yard line.
57. Mike, 57. Exit.
1, Omaha.
Check 4.
21. Hey, high 7.
Play action. Garoppolo. He's going to have the first down past the 20 and all the way up to the 31-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Garoppolo, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Looking downfield for Godwin. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground, as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll keep it on the ground again here. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a first down carry by Jones. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, Echo. Go ahead.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Garoppolo again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, exit.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Going up top for Miller. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scott Miller, his first touchdown of the new season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Evans.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Jones has it. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Go ahead.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Toward the pylon, caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
on is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, but
and he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
I got you.
They'll go again to Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a 1st down throw, complete downfield. Touchdown, Packers! Davante Adams. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers get a score closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Here we go. White.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. He's got Jack Doyle. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
And he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Adrian Amos with a pick. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and forever.
258, right.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Again, it's Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. It's taken to the 26. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Garoppolo, the quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Go to 50. Hey, you block 399.
Here's Jones. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game? And that's caught inside the 30. Rodgers to his tight end Graham on a big one. 42 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This will be taken short. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, 80!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
Garoppolo looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Here we go.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
They're running it.
Hey, gun.
And they try to sweep to Jones. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
I got this.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Buccaneers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.